Hello, my name is Danny Alfred, co-founder of Feed the Hungry Entertainment, and welcome to the Technology and Music Production Podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be going over some of the changes that technology has brought to my industry, which is the music industry. Okay, now let's talk about computer software and the effects it had on the music industry. In the early years of recording, it was all done in analog. In the recording process, it was more tedious, time-consuming, and expensive. Something as simple as editing vocals could take hours. Preparing the tape machine was another thing that took time, not to mention the cost for the tape. So eventually, companies such as DigiDesign and Apple have developed what is known as DAWs, or digital audio workstations. Now, these software workstations enable you to be more flexible and work more effectively. In these workstations are tons of plugins that replace the outboard effects racks that they used back in the day. And most of these big name recording studios still use those outboard racks. They also come with an interface to plug in your microphone and or other instruments that you might use. Alright, now let's talk computer hardware.
Check out the technique.
Years ago, when music was being put together, they had to record everything just as you would with vocals. Later on down the timeline, an engineer by the name of Dave Smith developed what is known as Musical Instrument Digital Interface, or better known as MIDI. MIDI enables you to sync pieces of equipment together like synthesizers by sending information through MIDI cables that were connected to each component. This also ushered in sound modules. These are basically keyboards without any keys, so you would just plug a MIDI keyboard or a controller to it with MIDI cables and play the patches that you choose. Then came software like Reason and Fruity Loops. With these programs, music is much easier to compose. Also included in some of these DAWs are what is known as VSTs, or Virtual Studio Technology. With these plugins, it's like basically having a synthesizer keyboard in your computer, making music production more fluent. Now here's an example of how recording was done back in the early years.